Hi, welcome back to another talk. My name is Jill Niebuhr. I am Angel Warrior. It is Friday evening. I am actually going to the Alicia Cara concert tonight. And I kind of came about following her in a very strange way. I'm actually going to make a post about it on my Patreon site, and the link for all of those other ways to get a hold of me are always in my description box. So if you want to look into anything else with me, feel free. I would love to hear from you. The subject that I'm being called to talk about right now is listen to yourself. This is a transformative talk on the logistics of coming into your own and living the life of your dreams, being satisfied in your life, happy, content, fulfilled, willing to make changes. I think a lot of times people feel for some reason that they get bullied into situations, maybe not overtly, but somehow they end up doing things that they don't want to do. And it's happened to me, and I am cultivating a poignant awareness of when that happens, and being conscious of my reflection in the world. For me right now, a lot of it has to do with this ability that I hopefully will have coming up to disconnect from things and to go deeper into myself, deeper into my mission. All those things are really important because I wasn't taught either to listen to myself when I was a child. One of the most frustrating things I see, and I'm not a parent, and I don't mean to criticize parents, but it's frustrating to see because I was a child of parents, and I was actually given a lot of liberty as a child. I didn't have a lot of rules. I had a lot of authority in my home environment when I was young for some time, until I started going out more, and then my environment changed a lot. And but a lot of my friends had very strict rules at home, and they would have to lie to do things that they wanted to do. And even though I didn't have a lot of rules, I still felt the expectations for me, and then seemingly innocent gestures like, well, everything else that you want to do is fine, just this one thing, and so it was always like, the things that I was told to do would be, you have all the freedom in the world except for this one thing. The problem with that is that might be the one most important thing that I really need to decide for myself. Now, this is actually how children have been taught for a really long time in our world, but it starts as children. As children, we're told this is good, this is bad, this is good. There are some things structurally that are very good to know. I didn't learn those things from my parents. I'm not criticizing my parents here either, okay? This is not me throwing paintballs at my parents. I love them, and I know they did the very best that they could, and I know that a lot of what parents teach is what they were taught, unless there is a lot of inner work that goes into breaking down how things affected us at an early age, which is really, really intense work. As far as change goes, I have been working on those things in my life for a very, very long time to get the insight that I have. But when they would tell me, you know, just do this one thing, and it was like the one thing that I really needed to be deciding for myself, I was going on their path. And then the things that I maybe really needed to know, basic things, really, we don't need for someone to tell us what job we need to work or what time we need to come home, even, just as we should be taught to think independently. This has been something that's been on my mind really since I was a child. This has been going on for a really long time in our country, this whole idea that you do certain things and you don't do these things, and it's just stuff that was passed on. It isn't stuff that really even makes sense. So what we have is people thinking they need to do certain things in order to function, fit in, all of these things that happen. The problem in that is that if we were thinking for ourselves, we would all be contributing more towards the whole. Because when we're thinking for ourselves, we're coming up with these unique ways of operating that is particular to us and adds value to everyone because it's something new. We're exposing something new to someone all the time because we are custom crafting our life. I'm thinking, like, when I was a child, if I always have been a very independent thinker. It's just that, part of being in an environment, especially at a young age, is being affected by certain things. And that's at any stage in life. If you are in a certain environment, it's going to affect you. So, thinking things like, there were things that I thought that I did that were different, and it changed things for people just by me doing it. And there were things that I didn't do that I had to learn the hard way how to trust myself enough to do, because I don't want to disappoint my parents. I don't want to not fit in. I don't want to have to fight so hard to live a life that makes me happy. The more people that do these things, the more that's our norm. And I think that this is my opinion. In culture, there are people who really like routine, and I think there's people that enjoy working for others. I think there's people, I think that each of us finding our highest purpose fits into the whole. But what's really suffering today is that everyone is fitting into this one blanketed little area. So there's pressure put on this blanketed area system that makes it difficult to get by. People have problems paying bills. I mean, I come from a background where, I've been exposed to a lot of different environments, But I've had a lot of limits because of health issues. I chose to improve my health for a while and focus on that instead of really pushing my career. And I also wanted, strong relationships and things like that before I really focused on my mission like I'm in right now. But since there's this narrow way of doing things, everyone tries to do it, and there's a limited amount of opportunities because some people are really happy there. They're living their best lives. They couldn't want another thing in their life. And most of the people are not. It's not working for them. Maybe the skill structure doesn't feel like the best thing for them, or maybe it's not enough or whatever, but because they are thinking in this sense of these are my options, the whole suffers. So when you have the whole suffering, there is problems all the way up and down the scale. And what people want to do a lot of times is blame the rich people and say, or even blame the people who aren't working, or so everyone wants to point fingers. That's the easy way to handle the problem, and it doesn't get handled, but it's a way to remove responsibility, self-responsibility. What really, really, really needs to happen is the picture needs to explode. Everyone needs to break out of this idea that it needs to be this way and it needs to be that way. And I'll tell you why it's like that. Because everyone's going to someone else that's in this box, that's making it happen in the way that's acceptable, and they're getting advice from them, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, this is it. This is it. I'm doing it now. And it doesn't feel very good. You might want to go to the bar and drink in the evening because it wasn't very fun. Your day was not very fun. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you just can't wait to get to Friday. But you feel stressed. And then you have health problems go on it. And then all these doctors are saying, hey, we've got your fix. We've got some medicine for you. And what's happening is the whole population is suffering because of this simple thing that's missing: the ability to make choices for yourself and trust yourself. This is not an easy thing, but if you find a way of going inside, whether it's meditation or even having someone who says, look, I'm gonna stay by your side whether you mess up totally or it's a complete success. Even having some kind of friend like that can help, because then you think, okay, well, I'm always gonna have a friend at least, and it can remove the fear and the burden, because it's such an underrated look at things. It takes a lot of bravery to make those little steps. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot of work to really get to a place like I am right now, where I'm feeling confident in myself and I'm healthy and I can take control of my life in any area I need to. But that has taken a lot of experience and a lot of failing. A lot of what I'm calling failing is a lot of following the wrong ways that weren't true to me, and seeing myself get to a place where I was completely lost and I couldn't identify myself at all anymore. I couldn't remember anything good about my life. I couldn't remember anything good about myself. I didn't even think I was a good person at one time, and that's just so not true. That's just so not true. But the more we listen to others, the easier it is to lose yourself and find yourself in that position where it's like, how did I get so miserable? When did my life get so out of control? Why is this so hard? I'm telling you right now, you got to take back your power. You've got to find a way to get away from people who are trying to control your life. This is a huge thing right now. If you are in doctors will hunt you down practically to keep you on medication. I'm not even kidding. It's ridiculous. There are so many things that can stop someone from doing this. If you have parents who you've never set boundaries with, it might be a little difficult to learn to do that. But you know what? Any progress is good progress in this area. Even just one little small victory, whether it's, it could be anything, any little thing that you say, you know what? I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to do this for me because this is what would feel good to me. It starts with baby steps like that. And if you like the result, you probably want more of it. Going back to that time where I was really lost, I really needed to inspire myself, and I wanted to find a picture of myself at my most confident. And I really couldn't find anything where I looked really confident. And just knowing what was behind a lot of pictures, it was like, well, I look beautiful there, but I know I was miserable. That is not me at my most confident. I didn't know what that looked like. And I finally found a picture. Actually, I have it right here. It's a picture, I was in a wedding. My godfather had me be the flower girl in his wedding. And this is actually me at my most confident, and I would say my most innocent picture. And in confidence, what I've learned about confidence is it's not that overbearing, like no one can talk to me, this is the way things is. Confidence is very innocent in its nature. It's not this big power thing. It's not this terrible, my way or the highway thing. It's a very beautiful glow. And I don't even think I'm completely there yet, but I'm close. And I'm completely satisfied with where I am right now. So yes, I beg of you and I please listen to yourself. Do whatever it takes to take even a baby step to give yourself the grace and the freedom and the love you deserve in your life. And you can thank me for it later. Okay? All right, thanks.